So, back to Ustalav,
Yay!
which is totally not Ankh-Morpork at all, despite me having stolen the map from there. So, you guys finished with the little red man last time, essentially finishing that little quest.
Finish
and,
him.
And
Dun dun dun.
going back home.
Don't finish him.
No,
He's a
still
sweet old man.
he's still alive. I actually had to promise Scoops that nothing will happen to him.
Good.
Nothing will. So you went back, quote unquote, home into the restaurant or wherever you live. I don't actually know. And you basically have downtime, which reminds me, if you want to level up something, now would be the time to do that.
Yay!
You have like, I want to say 2 weeks worth of time, so you know. Let's see. We don't have Zephy. Dress is stuck in the middle of the road somewhere.
So this would also be a good time for the other two members to begin finding a place to live, because after the vision gets fulfilled, there is a subtle mention that perhaps they should get the fuck out of his house, and after the first week, there is an outright mention of get the fuck out of my house.
Are you just gonna hand them an eviction notice?
Welp.
I mean,
yes, it will be in the form of a very large lizard man.
Well, he's
very
not there
large
right
and
now.
very well paid lizard man, shall we say?
I mean, I don't mind. If you want to roleplay finding a place to live, we can do that. If you want to be roommates, we can do that too.
All right, they can
Taylor
live at
is not rooming with any of you.
To be fair, I think Mitch is actually living somewhere at the church.
They
Good.
have rooms.
Thank God.
They
can,
have a
in fact,
couch I can crash
Get a room
on.
at a priory.
Yeah, probably. Just living in a room with like 3 or 4 kids. Generously provided by the church.
Where could Taylor live?
Commas, they're very important.
Where do you want to live? Like, in terms of, like, you don't have money, for fuck's sake.
I mean, I'm gonna get paid.
You could just camp in the park, I guess. Yeah, but how are you gonna get paid though? Like, if
Ven is gonna pay me.
But Ven is firing you right now, apparently. I mean, there
Why
will be back.
is
There
Ven
will be.
firing us again?
He doesn't want you to work for him, apparently. He's kind of a dick, as it turns out.
As it turns out.
I mean,
Still gotta pay me before you fire me, dude. Otherwise, probably gonna
Like-
set something on fire.
Pack pay. That's true. You know what? Let's do this. Let's just play this out.
Oh, okay. What? Oh,
Hmm.
you can take the trade goods we found in the back of the store. The furs and whatnot. Just get off of my property.
Wow. ...
So you're just going to pay me in goods?
Yes, you seem a practical kind of girl.
Oh, yes.
And even if you can't sell it, at least you won't freeze to death.
Oh, I am very practical. Practical enough to know that trade goods will only get you so far in a city which needs money for you to survive. So please pay me in the money that you owe me.
Blink, blink, blink. You really are a country bumpkin. Wow. All right. So first, advice for living in a larger city. You're a wizard, yes?
Yes.
So, as a wizard, you are without any sort of noble title or attachment to any sort of noble family. You are what would be considered by many to be a more specialized kind of craftsman. Now, craftsmen are most common in large cities, and would you like to guess what craftsmen trade in?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. You know, all the money you're not giving me right now is really distracting me. You can keep talking and talking and talking and trying to get to weasel your little way out of not giving me my money. but it's not gonna happen. You're gonna give me my money, or
I've never seen anyone try harder to be paid. Whatever. I'm just not going to argue anymore. Sure. He reaches into the fucking desk and pulls out a purse. It jingles and he tosses it to Tatel.
she takes a moment to count it.
It's 50. It's 20 gold.
How much would 20 gold give you in this city? Stinky.
Seeing as how like the average, like
Uh,
a night in the common room of an inn is like a copper.
Okay,
uh,
good.
that
The average.
I want to say, don't
I'm sorry.
go just by D&D things here. It
Yeah.
highly depends what you're trying to do, where do you want to live, and how much you want to eat per month.
Okay, I want to eat enough that I don't starve. I
Bare
want to
minimum.
live in a place that doesn't blow up too often. And I'm gonna go and find myself a job as quickly as possible, obviously. So I don't need to live off of this for too long.
Then you should be able to stretch it for, like, I want to say, several months if you're frugal.
Perfect. Very, very perfect.
Like,
Trust
let's
Taylor
assume
is.
you're not actually buying any furniture or something.
Who needs furniture?
Those furs were worth 300 gold.
Yeah, well, but she didn't want them.
Now get off of my property.
Very well. And Taylor gets off your property.
So, Tatel, you are quite literally out in the streets, in front of the fancy restaurant, in a neighborhood you quite honestly can't afford.
Well, yeah, I don't plan on settling down here. Jesus Christ.
Shouldn't. Mitch, where are you?
Uh. Hmm.
Like, were you already thrown out too? Do you actually
What?
care?
If he's
Think I'll
too
let-
wasted to actually operate, Ven would have had a messenger dispatched to the local church of Caden Cayley and have him picked up.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay,
I
Tatel.
am one of your clergy members. Get him out of my living room.
No, we can do that. We can do it. Tatel, as you step outside the door into your new life as a single female, single female lawyer. No.
What do you mean, new life?
Well, you're not under the thumb of that horrible Ven person anymore. You're out on your
Oh,
own.
yes, that horrible Ven person who, I don't know, did some shit, paid me, and only really turned horrible in the beginning of this session. Like, overtly horrible.
Okay, fine enough. Okay, anyway, you go outside the restaurant, you stand there, and you see a paddy wagon coming up. Like a proper cart with a policeman on at the reins, single horse, stopping in front of the restaurant. And you.
Taylor squints a little bit and steps aside, assuming that they have some business to attend to that doesn't involve me.
Yeah. No, the policeman or guardsman or whatever looks down at you, looks at the fancy restaurant, and you can see he's like, he doesn't have the kind of money to ever eat in a place like this. In fact, he barely has the money to be there right now as a police officer. He looks at you and goes, sorry, miss. I was sent to pick someone up on charges of drunkenness.
Oh.
To be fair, this place looks a bit too fancy for that. Maybe I'm at the wrong place.
Oh, yes, that'll be the monk. He'll be right out. Taylor walks back inside, looks around for a moment. There are some policemen outside coming to pick up the monk. Is he even here?
Ven peeks his head out of a door. Why have the city got? I just wanted the priors to come pick him up. Whatever.
They're busy. They have important stuff to do.
He's likely in a room. Get one of the manservants. He'll drag him out.
All right. Taylor goes to find one of the manservants and locates the drunken guy. Prods him with whatever's closest to him, either a finger or a shoe. It really depends on how he's sleeping that morning.
Mitch should know.
Me?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, spaced out for a second.
You are about to get woken up out of a drunken stupor.
What? What's?
Also, roll me a d10. Wow. You are actually almost sober, but not,
Holy shit.
not too sober. You're quite functioning today, weirdly enough. What happened?
That doesn't sound like me.
May just, top yourself up with a bit of gin. Probably have a bottle near your bed. Or several.
Yeah, it's not.
Doesn't every self-respecting monk of his order have that?
Isn't he a
it's what-
paladin, not a monk?
Monk, paladin, badada.
Same fucking thing.
Monk is actually the right word for him. He
Okay then.
or
Yeah,
cleric. I don't know.
Well, Mitch, you are
Uh,
you're not really too drunk or too sober.
Impressive.
Very. Now here's the bad
Yeah.
news. You're getting evicted. And arrested.
you can't arrest me for this.
That's actually
I know. Something religious freedom.
true. No, it's actually true. The policeman is there to pick someone up on charges of drunkenness, which you are not right now.
Yep. It's true.
I'm not even that drunk.
Well, the
Anyway,
manservant, the manservant is a bit unsure what to do because apparently that the monk can walk just fine on his own. Not belligerent.
It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird.
Well, capable of walking or not, we're still being thrown out. So I suggest you pick up your effects and get a move on.
I mean, suppose I should go ahead and get a move in. With that, Zidislav will pick himself up, slightly dust himself off since he's probably like covered in shit. Then we'll just kind of walk out since apparently people don't want him to be around here anymore.
Wow.
The
Yep.
nerve of some people.
Absolutely. And Taylor walks out as well and starts finding himself a place to live.
On the way out, the policeman, let's say he's a constable. The constable greets both of you, then continues waiting for the drunkard he's supposed to pick up. He's getting paid by the hour. He doesn't care.
Taylor's not gonna say anything. She's quite enjoying the look of this policeman standing and waiting outside of this fancy establishment that just threw her out.
Good day, miss. Sir.
She nods at the policeman
Good day.
and gives him a small smile.
He smiles back, then immediately lights a cigarette.
After looking out the window, like 10 minutes later, Ven will eventually have a servant go and arrange for a carriage. Not a carriage. No, actually, I think it'd be a carriage. A form of transportation to take them to a place of their choosing.
Oh, you mean those two?
Carriage. Yes, those two.
Oh, okay. Well, if you take that offer, then just tell me where you want to go.
Shit, Taylor's not gonna look a gift carriage in the mouth.
Gift carriage.
Gift carriage. She's gonna want to go to wherever there is good work for someone knowledgeable in magic, but also not too explodey.
I want to say the Unseen University, but that is like a fucking Discworld thing.
And also very explodey.
The well, we established there's kind of a district for magic shops and stuff over at Dragon's Landing.
It's a bit close to the slum, but hey, that only means the prices of the houses are gonna be way down. Taylor heads in that direction.
Mind you, that magic shop did have problems with organized crime, which actually that won't deter Taylor at all, I think.
Explosions!
And Mitch, are you gonna like go with her?
I mean, it's
Or
not
do you have
like
anything better to
Zislav
do?
has anything better to do.
Yeah, what is it? Just gonna get drunk on the way there?
I mean, a little.
It's
Fair
not a
enough.
bad course of action, all
Yeah.
things considered.
So you drive through, well, the middle of the city, basically.
Yay.
Scooting next to the Opera House, over Broadway, seeing a very distressed Draz just standing in the middle of the road for some reason, trying to repair a broken down cart. He doesn't see you, and honestly, you probably don't care about him enough to say it.
Taylor
So
would
you-
kind of care enough, but that's just an entire can.
Yeah.
Open.
No, you just leave him there. He's obviously busy, and Zephy isn't here. He can have his own little side adventure, trying to find a taxi. And you arrive, let's say, yeah, the Street of Cunning Artificers, like somewhere there.
Yay!
Woo.
Near that, right, last time when you were at that magic shop, I said there were like a couple of empty buildings around, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just people who left.
Yeah.
You're kind of around there.
Sweet. Taylor's gonna start looking around for some place to rent.
There are several more or less discreet signs, like house to sell, apartment to rent, workshop to procure, that sort of thing. With
She's going to.
very like vague pricing and an address to go to if you're interested.
She's gonna be quite interested in the workshop to rent thing.
Right.
Although she will have to go with the owner whether she'd be able to live in it as well.
Well, from outside it looks like a smallish shop with a little side house. For a single person, probably okay. Like single bedroom, little work area. That's about it.
Perfect. Taylor will go contact this person about this place.
Well,
Say that.
the address listed is in the guild area.
Oh, jeez.
And I say that because, hey, we might as well bring Connor's new character in.
Where am I?
Plus, it fits thematically.
It does.
Yeah. The address listed is in the... Fuck it, let's just do this. It's listed as the Lawyers Guild.
Yeah.
Like a very fancy name. Let me just come up with something. Shit.
McKinley and Sons.
Oh, that's good. Let's go with that. Yeah, it's just McKinley and Kinley.
McKinley and Kindly.
No, McKinley and Kinley. It's important.
Yes.
Yeah, that's listed. Lawyers Guild. Blah blah blah. There's the street name, etc., etc.
Right. Taylor
I post another different name.
No. row, and a boat. God damn it.
Urboat is Ulfin.
Oh, God, I'm too tired to come up with names today. That's kind of an issue.
Aw,
Oof.
it's okay. We got
Don't
you
worry, we'll
covered.
think of stupid shit for you.
Good.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's make a little put a little X where you want your shop to be.
Hey, let's see. Da, 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 da. Gonna have to drag this over to my other thing. Let's see. So we are in the Street of Cunning Artificers. Ooh, there's a
Around there somewhere.
cemetery
It's around
right
there.
next to the Temple of Small Gods. Taylor wouldn't want to be too close to Dragon's Landing. Somewhere close to Upper Broadway would probably be too expensive. We're looking at the smaller places here, after all.
I mean, the slum area brings the renting prices down quite a bit. Not to mention the
Absolutely.
organized crime.
Yep. I have a feeling like she would be. Oh god. I hate that
What are
I
you
can't fucking
doing?
draw with this thing. It's because of my tablet settings. I can't actually use my my tablet to draw with.
It's an X. Just use your mouse.
browser. That's what I'm gonna do. I want to say this little building here.
Okay. Yeah. So you
It's a
basically
little close to.
yeah, you make a note of the address of the Lawyers Guild and their name.
Yep. Yep.
And the house number you want to purchase.
Yep.
Or inquire about, and then you are, I guess, on your way again. Actually, I want to say, roll me a D2.
Okay. Two.
Okay. The card is still there, waiting for you.
Yay! Aw.
One he
Oh,
would have,
sweet.
one he would have gone. Fuck it, I'm out of here. I don't have time for this shit. But no, he's waiting. He got paid for it.
Yeah. And Taylor gets in and tells him where to go, and then they're off.
And let's say like half an hour later, also you pass Dress again. Still working on that card.
And I
He
like
somehow
do the thing where I shield my eyes a little bit,
he's,
like just trying to
he,
avoid eye contact.
he somehow managed to break another wheel on the same card while fixing the first
Wow.
one.
And no one is surprised.
He's too strong. He's too strong for his own good.
He's too
Absolutely.
strong.
He's just standing there, two halves of a wooden wheel in both claws, and just looks kind of forlorn as you
Because he
pass
already
him
had a
by.
pig.
As you pass him by, not helping in any way, shape, or form.
If it wasn't because he already had a well-paying job, Taylor would be considering hiring him as muscle in her new shop.
Probably not a good idea.
He
Plus, you
does
have
tend to
Mitch.
break doors a lot.
You have a drunken
Yeah.
monk that you can employ.
I mean, true. I mean, if he doesn't go through my goddamn potion stock.
Anyway, half an hour later, you arrive in the what was it? The Street of Alchemists,
Yay!
near all the guild buildings actually. You haven't been in this area of the city before, so
Nope.
let me just. The guild buildings are all very not as much fancy as practical, but obviously having a lot of money invested in them. Like those are places of business and of learning and of professionalism. Except for one little building nestled in between the Lawyers Guild and the Alchemists Guild, which it doesn't really seem to have a place there. Looks like a little
Taylor
shop.
pauses for thought. Looks at it. Tries to discern what kind of shop it is.
Well, Connor, do you actually have a sign?
It is a carved wooden sign. It says Xander's Workshop, Alchemy and Blacksmithery.
Might come in handy. Taylor
The
says to herself before going towards the Lawyers Guild where
Yep.
she has
also the
a soon-to-be
building,
appointment.
yeah, the Xander shop building looks a bit out of place because it's very thin. Do you know what a spite building is?
Yes, one that you basically just squish in between two other buildings, right?
Yes, it kind of looks like that. Like it seems like someone built it to just get the guild buildings, uh, like to have something in between the guild
Separated.
buildings. Yeah,
Already, Tadel likes the style of this building because she would.
the lawyers guild, well, looks functional. That's probably the best word for it. It's just kind of, it's drab, it's gray. It has a lot of very discreet naming plates outside under very discreet mailing slots. And just looking at them, you figure that there's no way all of those people have actually offices in that building. Like these are clearly mailings. These mailing slots probably cost as much as an entire house somewhere else.
Yeah, Tadel believe that.
So what are you gonna do?
Gonna go in there and find the office of whoever's renting out my
Well,
building, and
as you approach the door and try to open it, you notice it's locked.
Tadel
It's a very
groans.
sturdy wooden door with a little bell.
Oh, okay. Tadel rings the bell.
Nothing happens.
Tadel rings the bell again, impatiently.
How long are you willing to wait before you do something?
Uh, Less than a minute.
Yeah, that's not enough. So yeah, nothing happens for a minute.
Then Taylor starts banging on the door. Hello?
The door is very you as you hammer against the door, you can tell that behind it, well, it feels like behind is a very large open space, like the kind of hallway that you know will reverberate with that knocking. Quite a bit.
Oh, great. Someone will hear.
And so, like a minute after you start hammering against the door, it slowly opens inward, and you look into the face of a. Hmm, how do I say this?
Gaunt,
He's
annoyed.
dressed like a secretary,
Uh-huh.
but he has the bearings of a butler of the rich and powerful.
Oh dear.
And he looks at you. He's actually kind of your height, but he still manages to look down his nose at you like you wouldn't believe. And goes,
Taylor believe it.
yes.
Taylor will look, quote unquote, up at him and go, ah, finally. I'm here to speak with, and she says the name of whoever's renting out the apartment,
What do we say?
about real estate.
McKinley and Kinley.
I'd like to speak to McKinley and Kinley about real estate.
Really?
Yes, really.
I'm afraid the gentleman McKinley do not give out money for rent.
Excuse me?
You will have to go to wherever you people go when you need rent money.
Oh no, this was an excuse me of incredulousness. I'm here to make business. I'm not here to ask for a handout, so please do as I say and show me to their office so that I may talk about purchasing one of their real estates.
Well, he looks you up and down. You don't look like you have money, right?
Well, Tatel looks like Tatel.
Yeah. And next to you is, I mean, Mitch probably looks presentable right now.
Yeah.
And an alcoholic.
Right
I
now?
mean,
Not
about as
right.
presentable as he can be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you would, are you there in like full armor or something, Mitch?
I'm gonna say that he's not currently in full armor. and just has his suit of armor stashed at the church.
Ah, yeah, okay. In
You
that
know, because
case,
he has a
he
room there.
he will look both of you up and down. Well, I suppose I can make an exception because I am feeling very generous today.
We thank you eternally for your generosity.
Yes, please come in, and while you discuss things with the gentleman McKinley, I shall look for a fuck, what's the word? I shall look for the address of a charity that might be able to help you out.
You assume an awful lot of things, sir.
I gotta say, the only reason he didn't suggest you go to the whore pits is because Mitch looks kind of intimidating. He motions you in, then closes the door behind you, very carefully, I might add, so as to not make a racket. And mm, actually, I want you to roll for that.
Okay. What do I need to
What do
roll?
we roll? What would be a sense motive thing?
Percolate.
Perception and, well, not alertness, I think.
Perception awareness.
Yeah, let's do that.
Awareness is more attention of supernatural
Oh,
things,
okay.
so sort of
Ah,
sixth
okay.
sense.
Then what would be
Alertness would
like?
be your passive perception, essentially your ability to notice things. Investigation is what you'd roll if you're searching for something.
Okay.
So alertness or investigation. If you want to be, whether you want to be passive or if you want to just try and notice something.
Can I roll both? Sorry. Perception and what was it? Alertness to be passive and investigation to be active.
Apparently, Connor, is that right?
I mean, it's up to you. Generally, you'd pick one or the other, depending on if you wanted to roll to just see if she notices something out of the corner of her eye, then you generally use perception and
It's
alertness.
something about his behavior.
All right.
Otherwise, it could be like perception plus empathy.
Oh, let's go with that.
I hope I have
Trying to pick up
empathy.
on his emotions. Otherwise, might be perception plus subterfuge. If Tato's trying to pick out any lies, figure out if he's being duplicitous.
I'm gonna have to go with subterfuge because that's the only one I have.
Yeah, that fits the character anyway.
It does, doesn't it? So let's see. That is perception and
Yeah,
subterfuge.
and
That's 3d10.
difficulty just 6, just normal.
Okay.
Mitch, you can also do that if you wanna.
Hey, I got nothing.
Damn it.
Aha! I actually took or I took dots in subterfuge.
Let's see
Haha.
those people skills, Mitch.
So.
I
So
do want to level up my
subterfuge,
stuff.
charisma.
Yep. Oh, damn. I need like 4 hours more sleep. Ugh. So
Or drugs.
sorry if I'm a bit meandering today.
Oh
Jesus
shit.
Christ, Mitch.
Yeah, he notices he's got 2 successes there.
Yeah, Tadel is probably a bit
Oblivious.
too peeved to really notice anything, but the fact that the guy is an asshole. Mitch, you are almost certain that the only reason he's letting you in is to keep you quiet because the hammering was very annoying, and it's his job to make sure that the lawyers are not disturbed.
I mean, yeah, it makes that's yeah, it sounds like his job.
So yeah, you are also pretty certain that if you overstay your welcome here, he will call the police. And he will have you hauled away on some trumped up charge, whatever, to get you away.
Well darn.
He's that kind of asshole. Like a little, like that snivelly little functionary guy. The inside of the Lawyer's Guild is, um, surprisingly enough, very aesthetically pleasing. There's marble on the floor. There's wood at the walls. Very nice panel doll.
Holy
And
shit, they got wood.
it's very well lit. There are some plants. It looks very nice. He leads you down a small hallway and points towards the other end of it, and that the gentlemen McKinley are down that hallway to the left. Please make your visit brief and uneventful. I shall wait for you at the door to let you out later.
Thank you very much. And Taylor
Yes,
starts walking there.
as you say, thank you very much. He goes, yes, I'm sure. He turns his back to you and walks back to the door.
Taylor's
is-
mumbling to herself. Some people just do not know what decorum is.
I just like playing petty assholes, I guess.
Yep, we noticed.
Now you know how I feel.
Yeah.
It's great.
Connor, do you want to be there?
Why would I be there? Fuck those people.
I don't know, but I'm just asking in case.
Well, I understand where you're going. I don't really think it makes sense for my character to be there.
That's okay. I mean, who knows? Maybe you have an issue with your neighbors.
If I had an issue with my neighbors, I'd be blowing a hole in their wall.
That might be why you have issues with your neighbors.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to make I'm a very quiet person when I speak, so I like to make my my complaints known via other methods.
Anyway, so the
So,
office to the McKinleys. Again, sturdy wooden door, nice little plaque on it with well, McKinley and McKinley, uh, Esquire, I guess. Whatever you have on a lawyer's nameplate. Yeah, you wanna? I mean, the door is closed.
you knock.
You hear a very faint and muffled yes.
And I'm gonna open the door.
The first thing that you see is a massive wooden desk, like
Oh,
hard
jeez,
wood, probably oak.
You could set sail on that thing.
You could, which makes the figure behind it all the more comical because he's very small and very old. Like imagine, how would I say?
Go
Like,
ahead.
imagine like Mr. Burns, only older.
Oh god. So a mummy?
Oh.
Huh?
So the guy's basically a mummy.
He certainly looks like it. It looks like he woke up and crawled out of a sarcophagus earlier this morning. In front of him there are some neat paper stacks, which look very important. If they are is another question. Right. And he looks at you very inquisitive. He goes, "Oh, what may I do for you, my lovely young lady?"
Mr. McKinley? I would like to inquire about purchasing one of your properties.
"Oh no, I'm Mr. Kinley. The senior partner is not in right now, but I'm sure I can help you. Property, you
Oh,
say?"
pardon me. Indeed. I noticed that you have a workshop for rent outside Dragon's Landing. And she says blah blah, let's call it the address. And I would very much like to rent it.
Oh. Sorry. Oh yes, let me find the paperwork for it. He gets up, or so it seems, because honestly, sitting down, he was about as big as standing. Apparently, the chair is really high. He's super small. Goes to the back to a little drawer thing. What do you call those? These half drawer things.
Half drawer things?
Well, not half drawer. They're like round on top.
Duh.
Table?
No, it's you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What table? What? No, no. I mean one of those desks with the little that you can roll up and down.
Is this a pigeon?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're
That's
I kind of
okay.
think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I get what you're describing, but I don't think it's a thing.
It might be. Fuck it. I don't care. Anyway, he goes to a drawer. He takes out a large binder that looks too heavy for him to carry, but apparently he doesn't have any problem, and puts it down on the desk with
Impressive.
a heavy thud.
Taylor takes a small moment to compose herself.
Let's see. Let's see. The near Dragon's Landing would be back here. He just opens it in the middle and then slowly sifts through it. You can see if you look at the drawer in any way, you can see it's like tiny spidery handwriting in there, going on for pages and pages and pages.
Oh, jeez.
Uh, you see, McKinley and Kinley have a long history of dealing with property in the city, just buying and selling, rebuying and reselling. It's all in here really. Goes back quite a bit. Then you have renters and owners, more renters. Might be in one of the other binders.
The monotony, the repetition,
Yeah,
and
he just,
whatnot.
just sifts through it really slowly, straining to read.
Taylor starts screaming on the inside.
He's in no hurry.
Well, neither is Taylor. Well, except she's always in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, what exactly are you buying, young lady? What are you planning to do with it, if I may ask?
I plan to open my own magic workshop. I will be selling practical spells, some potions,
Oh
and
dear.
really quite a few things I can do to make things run around, as it were.
Oh dear. I am sure you are aware of the peculiar nature of that location vis-a-vis the rise of organized crime in the city.
Oh, yes, I'm acutely aware of that. I've
Yes,
already been acquainted with it, shall we say.
yes, yes. It's a dreadful situation, as you can
Huh.
tell. I know because it is very good for my business and my senior partner, of course, which of course means it's very bad for almost everyone else. uh, little
Nothing I
lawyer
can't
joke.
handle.
Little lawyer joke. A very funny
Very
person.
amusing.
Oh, here it is. And he uh, opens one page and turns it around to you. And it's
Taylor's.
well, it's a drawing of the building you saw, looking
And
quite better
Taylor.
in the drawing, mind you.
Taylor goes, yes, that's it. Perhaps a few 20 years ago, but yes, that's it.
Yes, yes. Oh, you are very lucky, young miss. The former owner recently passed away, not half a year ago, under mysterious circumstances.
He got
Well,
No,
murdered.
yes.
no,
Well, you,
I jest. He was old and he had a heart attack, I believe. Very sad.
but simultaneously rather fortunate considering the location.
Yes, very, very. I can't remember his name. Oh no, wait, it's in here. What a boring name. He 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 looks at the picture quickly, then turns around and gets a form of sorts,
Mhm.
which looks honestly a lot more boring than the book.
Oh dear.
Uh, turns it
Taylor
over to
continues
you.
to scream
It
internally.
turns it over to you, and it looks like a really standard run-of-the-mill rent contract.
Taylor looks rather pleased about this.
Yeah, the rent is fuck. What's the word? Oh my god.
What is the word? Good?
I don't know. The
Is
rent
good the
is
word?
put down. The rent is put down on the contract as 5 silver a week, which, well, honestly, if you want to know if that's high or low, you have to roll for it. If you know anything about money,
Alright. Well, what would I even roll for that?
good question. Do you have anything money related or finance related?
I mean, I have intelligence, pragmatic.
Intelligence
Let's
would work.
see.
Do you
And
And I
have
have
academics?
would
I
that be
do.
nice?
Do you have the secondary skill money lending?
I do not.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all. Intelligence and academics maybe
Okay.
with a difficulty 7, considering where you're coming from as a character.
Okay.
There's a secondary skill called money lending.
Jeez, you don't say.
Alright. There we go. Jesus fuck, I am rolling horribly today. What the fuck?
It seems like a great deal. In fact, you
Oh,
catch
come
yourself
on.
thinking about paying more than that, just to be nice.
Oh.
No, but you honestly have no idea if that's a fair price or not.
Ugh.
Like, none. Mitch, you want to help out or not? You can. You don't have to.
It was a what roll again?
Academics and intelligence, unless you have money lending.
I mean, it's probably not going to change anything, but I may as well.
You never know. You never know. You may roll like 5 tens. Now,
Oh, never mind.
you also are fairly sure. Yeah, it's a good price. Go with it. You two country bumpkins. God damn it. Yeah, you read through the contract. It looks fine to your untrained eye. I mean, there's not much in it. Certainly no like fine print or anything. Literally just says address, the rent price, with the name of the lawyer practice, and a space for your signature. And Mr. Kinley points to it. Your signature here, and your initials here, and on the backside.
So let's see. The rent was 10 silver a week, was it?
No, 5 silver a week, my dear.
Okay, 5
Although,
cents.
if you want to pay more,
That
I
was
will not stop you.
that was not Taylor. That was me asking.
Oh, sorry. Okay then. Yeah, it was 5 a week.
While that would be funny as shit to say.
It would be. It would also fit the role, but oh well.
God damn it.
It happens.
It does. Yeah.
Ugh. It's just really to be salty with the rolls for a moment here.
No,
it's
it's
really
okay.
out of character.
Chicken,
70-10.
chicken, I would like to say that you shouldn't be so angry about it. It is a chance for a future plot hook.
It is, yeah.
Sorting out your
point.
fucking rent.
Although I
Yeah.
get it. It's a 70-10 and you rolled awful. I would do this too.
Absolutely.
It happens.
it's
Don't worry
just-
about it.
It does.
It's just so out of character for Taylor to be that fucking oblivious when she's so obviously getting
To be fair,
scared.
no, I would say she's not oblivious. She's just really frustrated right now. And her anger is clouding her judgment.
I would also like to say, how often has Tatel negotiated renting contracts?
Yeah.
Well, not particularly renting contracts, but she was one of the people taking care of money business in her home.
Anyway. So yeah, he points to the contract and just initials here, and on the back side, and then I will sign my name here. And we put a stamp on it, And that will be that, young miss.
And Tail signs it.
The lawyer nods, puts a big stamp on it, like bam, middle of the table, just very loud. And puts the contract.
Perfect.
Yeah, then puts the contract. Actually, he doesn't put the contract. He pulls a little thing off the contract, like the second, like the strike-through page or whatever you call it, and gives that to you. This is
And
your
Tail
copy,
takes it and
and we will keep
gives it.
this one right here. Your rent,
Gives it.
yes, your rent is to be
Gives.
paid. What?
Just gonna say Tail gives it a brief read through. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the rent will have to be paid at the end of every week. We will send a courier to do that.
Very well. In that case, I shall see your courier in about a week, I suppose.
4 days, miss. Let's assume it's
Alright.
Tuesday,
Sure.
unless you don't want it to be Tuesday.
No, it's fine.
Okay. And with that, Mr. Kinsey will take place behind his desk again and apparently politely wait for you to leave.
Well, Tail got what she came for, so she's gonna leave. Obviously, she's gonna give him a brief pleasure doing business with you before going.
The pleasure doing business with you, my young dear. I'm sure we will see each other again. I assume you close the door behind you,
No, obviously.
obviously. And the snivelly little secretary guy is awaiting you at the door. Can't wait to get you outside the house.
What? No loud cackling of "I sure did scam that country bumpkin" coming out from McKinley's office.
No, but that would have been a great line in character to the secretary.
Why would Taylor say that to the secretary?
I don't know. Just rub it in. Anyway, yeah, the guy he holds open the door for you, stone faced, just wants you to leave.
And Taylor leaves. Honestly, she just wants to go and get the stuff done.
Yeah, that's fair. And the door closes behind you with maybe a little bit more force than necessary. That's that. You just rented a workshop.
Yep.
There is the sound of a hammer in the distance, of Xander banging out nail after nail after nail after nail after motherfucking nail.
With distance, you mean like the next door.
Yes, in the distance.
Looks like someone has a specialty. Taylor mumbles as she walks past.
Oh god, blacksmiths in that era did most of their work for fucking nails.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Always need nails.
Because you need nails for everything.
Matter of fact, you might need some materials to spruce up that workshop. Hint, hint.
Yep. Gonna have to take a look at the workshop first. You know, take stock of what's gonna need to gonna need to be done and stuff.
Okay. So you want to go back there first and then,
Yeah, sure. Taylor goes back there first, takes stock of what needs to be done, and then decides to go back to
Yeah.
the blacksmith because
Let's
story
so
hook.
let's add another like 2 hours later. You arrive back at Xander's workshop after an extensive survey of your new property.
Yep.
And it doesn't look too bad. Like obviously it needs work. Like it has sat empty for like half a year. There are some small pest problems. A couple of rats got in, stuff like that. Holes in the ceiling.
Taylor took her frustration out of the rats.
Jesus.
Explosions.
There are some burned red carcasses to be cleaned up.
There are little piles of ash. Might need a broom.
Ash to sweep away as usual. Everywhere you go, there's always ash. There's some broken there's some broken window panes. So really minor stuff. Nothing you can't do on your own.
Considering the absolutely ludicrous rent price and the fact that everything seems to be in relatively good shape, Tatel draws the conclusion that either the previous tenant paid a lot to the mafia or the mafia wasn't too interested. So cool.
What would be the better option there? That's the question.
Yep.
So you arrive back at Xander's workshop, who's still, I assume, hammering furiously and making nails.
Oh, it's not furious. It's bored as shit.
Ugh, that's even
Now,
worse. That's so much worse.
now, this is how. But that's how you pay fucking rent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking nail.
So seeing how it is your property and your apartment, your workshop, you describe how it looks inside.
So the inside of the shop is it's part of it is actually out in the open, which would be the forge area, which has a small counter which Xander is working behind. He is working a bellows as he is hammering out nails, and he has a surprisingly large pile. A surprisingly large pile of nails is built up. He will occasionally stop to count out 50 of them and put them aside after wrapping them with a leather thong. There is a inside to the area, which is obviously where you would store other kinds of things. There's a list of different things available, alchemical goods of various kinds. Black powder is one of them. There's a list of services available, various kinds of metalworking, various goods available. One of the things that is specifically written in bold and outlined is no apothecary services available.
Why would you write that down?
He even has gunsmithing as one of the things available.
Tatel makes pause for that and looks at it with very interested eyes.
This, of course, is out of view of the sign itself. It's something you'd only read when you walk up. On the sign itself is actually like a sort of 3 small signs that are hooked together in case somebody can't fucking read. One is a gun and an anvil. The second one is an anvil, and the third one is like a potion, like a bottle that's foaming. It's otherwise, while very organized, kind of drab looking. It's not built to look fancy or anything. This is obviously where he works,
So,
and he just has assigned like a small place if possible to actually do business.
Taylor looks over the sign, and looks over the nails, and she goes, "Quite a repertoire you have, isn't it?"
A little bit, yeah. Can I help you with something?
Oh yes, I'm in the market of looking for someone to supply supplies. I just bought a place. I need to fix it up.
Well, I got nails.
Splendid. I'll be needing a lot of those.
You probably will.
How are you with fixing particularly potion safe cauldrons?
Yeah, cast iron cauldron. Yeah, I can make one of those.
Perfect. How much would you charge for that?
3 silver. He will begin putting stuff away as he takes off the large, thick gloves he wears for smithing and walk over to the counter. My name's Xander, and this is my shop. Exciting, you know.
Tatel Potts, newly moved to town.
Well, welcome to you. Fuck, what is the name of the city we're in?
the Visa.
Vish.
I think it was
Vish.
Vish.
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome to Vish.
Viche, if I remember right.
Yes. Welcome to Vish.
Thank you kindly. From what I've seen so far, it's very atmospheric.
I suppose you could say that.
It's another way
So
of
you need a
saying the stench is
cauldron.
gagging me.
That's what happens when you live right next to the Alchemist Guild with the embalmers and butchers right next to each other. It happens. You should don't live next to the cemetery.
Right.
Xander does not smile when he says that.
Ow.
There was
Just
nothing
stone
mirth-
face.
There was nothing mirthful about Taylor's chuckle either.
Yeah. Anyways, so you need a cauldron, and you need box of nails. Nails is silver 3 copper for every box, 50.
Sounds rather affordable. That's quite nice.
Yep.
Let's see. Since Taylor has done repairs on an old dilapidated place before, she'd probably know what she needs. So, what would she need? I mean, tools, obviously.
You'd need some planks of wood. However many nails you think you will need, I would, God, a couple hundred maybe,
Yeah,
just to be on the safe side. Some,
just for a beginning.
yeah, unless you want to saw it all yourself, you'd need some windowsills and stuff like that, and like little doors for the windows.
Oh, jeez, this place has nothing.
No, it has stuff. It's a bit, it's like half broken. There are some holes in it. You want to fix it up, right?
Fair enough. So Taylor starts listing the things that she needs done. I'll be needing some planks for some sill work.
Oh, you will also
Um,
need a door lock.
Obviously, a few locks. Some more,
Hmm.
some more planks for the holes in the floor.
What kind of locks are you looking for? Because I can start getting pretty pricey.
What are the best locks you can make?
How much cash do you got?
Taylor gives a small smirk. That's not what I asked you.
Some of my best work I charged 150 for.
Jesus.
Right. Might have to put that on the back burner for a little while.
Some banks put that on the back burner.
My best log has a gun in it. It'll shoot you if you try to open it. It's great.
That's 20 gold extra. Look, if you can think enough, I can make it. But the question is whether or not you got the cash for it.
Well, my budget is unfortunately rather limited until I get working on my business, obviously.
Right.
How about we start with what's the most common lock you usually sell?
Well, to be honest, if you're working on a budget, you're not going to want to go with the lock. You're probably going to go with a lock with a door bar of some kind, since even the cheapest locks can run you upwards of 20 gold.
Right.
These things take a lot of time to make. And that's
Not
not even getting
kidding.
started on making the extra keys.
Oh, you are not kidding. Alright, bar for now it is.
As for the wood, you're probably going to talk to a carpenter. I know a couple guys you can talk to. You said you're starting a business?
Yes, indeed.
What kind of business are you starting up?
Magic, potion brewing, pest control.
What, like alchemy, herbalism,
A little bit of both.
apothecary? Oh, geez. Do you got any other tools for that?
I do have some tools, although mostly I do business in practical space.
If you're looking to just employ yourself out, Perhaps it'd be smarter instead to find work in a guild.
Might not be the worst idea.
Since as it seems you don't really have a whole lot of cash, nor do you have a whole lot of connections to start something up. I'm gonna wait on renting out a place.
Bit too late for that, unfortunately. I did need a place to live, after all.
Who'd you have negotiate for you?
Unfortunately, being absolutely new in town, nobody. Well, you know how it is.
Oh,
Newbies
right.
tend to get screwed left and right anyway.
Well, all right. First thing you want to do, if you want to start up an actual business, you want to talk to one of the craftsman guilds in the area. Unless you want to stop having a business.
Duty no.
After a while, they start trusting you. You can have them renegotiate your rent contract. For now, though, you should probably start worrying more about getting the funds to actually buy some of the tools that you need.
That is indeed where I intend to start.
Since, what do you have for some of your alchemy equipment?
I don't fucking know. Whatever she needs to have for like basic shit.
Amblic, you said you didn't even have a cauldron, order and pestle, even.
She does
Do you
have
have any supplies?
I do have mortar and pestle. I do have some supplies. Like I said, I usually do practical spells as opposed to potion making and alchemy.
Yeah, you're probably going to want to start more specialized work than that. Opening up a shop's gonna be a bit of a jump for you.
Fair enough.
That being said, if you still want the cauldron, it's great for cooking stew.
I'll take it.
Magic
Still only a
stew.
few silver.
What?
Walks in the back, gets like a 3-pound cauldron, puts it on the table.
Oh,
Can't go making potions if you're starving.
Oh, by the way, hey
Very
Connor,
true.
roll me a d10 real quick.
Okay.
Oh,
That isn't like a crazy invention. That's just a fucking metal pot.
yeah, I know. Well, the cauldron is fine. It's a bit lopsided, but it's fine.
Dude, I've got like fucking I've got like 8 dice to throw at this stuff. I'm not making a fucking ornithopter.
Also, it's a cauldron. It's not an invention.
Yeah, anyway, perfectly fine cauldron.
Yeah.
Yay. Tiddle's gonna look it over and go, not the worst craftsmanship I've ever seen. Quite nice, actually.
Well, I did spend around 10 years learning how to pound out fucking cauldrons.
Took you 10 years to make a cauldron?
Oh, fuck you.
I spent 10 years making this cauldron, now I'm gonna sell it to you for 3 silver.
Hey, that fucking pot's like a month of my rent.
Yep.
Before taxes and buying food and all the other stuff, but that's not the point entirely.
Well, to be fair, it's only half a
Anyway.
house.
Yeah.
Adventure, excitement, taxes.
Taxes.
The most important of things.
Fucking taxes, man.
We're really we're playing the high fantasy in this campaign.
Well,
Yeah.
you can do wacky stuff too if you wanna.
Oh no, I'm going to intentionally be an hour late with my rent.
I shall go
Ooh.
buy groceries at the market.
I like to live life dangerously.
So how much are you paying for this place a month?
Way too much.
Well, it depends on where you are, really.
Right outside of Dragon's Landing.
Well, then it depends on how much you're paying. Dragon's Landing is a good place to get noticed.
If nothing else. It's 5 silver a week.
A week?
A week.
Hey, Connor, you want to roll me that money thing?
Sure.
Difficulty
apparently
5
Tatel didn't
because you
have-
know the city.
Because apparently Tatel didn't have enough, common fucking sense to know that she's getting fucking scammed.
I think she says copper.
Yep. You think it's seems fine.
I at some point, my fucking ears are still ringing from banging on the fucking nails. I thought she said copper. Sounds like a great fucking deal.
None of you have any sense of money. I love it.
I
It's
have
not
the
that we
fucking
don't
money
have
lending skill.
Stinky, it's not that we don't have any sense of money, it's the fact that
It's
these
just bad
fucking
rolls.
dice
Yeah.
are screwing us
Oh,
in a
oh,
big
oh.
way.
Oh,
Oof.
It happens.
let's blame the dice.
Yeah. Have you seen our rolls?
Yeah, I did that. Kind of like my rolls.
So yeah, I think she says coppers, and I think that's a great fucking deal. Oh wow, that's actually not that bad. Anyways,
I'm starting to think this. I'm starting to think this is a really asinine thing to have to roll for when Kana has money lending, and let me just see what my intelligence skill is. Pragmatism.
Yeah, and you rolled 3 ones, and he rolled 2 ones. There is
it's
a
alright.
certain
Botches
point.
happen.
Yeah, there's a certain point where the dice are just against you, apparently.
Yep.
It's a botch. Mistakes happen.
You know what? You can re-roll that eventually. Once
Like,
you
wait a second.
once you get you know your neighbors and like learn what they pay.
There'll be
Once
like that needle scratch moment in Xander's head. Like, wait a second. She didn't say coppers. She said silver. What the actual fuck?
Or it's like the
Yep.
mafia coming around. Just we want you to pay 1 silver per week. Oh wow, that's so much cheaper than my rent.
What?
And they're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, it would be amazing if the mafia were like, "Oh my god, you gotta listen to me, kid. You're getting scammed. We're gonna go break some. We're gonna break some kneecaps for you. You don't even gotta pay us.
They might do.
Because
We'll see.
there's only one gang of scammers in this neighborhood. It's us.
Yeah, there's protection money and then there's outright thievery. You know what I'm saying?
We have a thieves guild for that.
We gonna visit this Kinley guy. Talk some sense into him. But yeah, for at least for this week, you're paying 5 silver.
Died.
That happens. Anyways, fuck. God, where was I?
Now I just can't wait for the gangsters to roll horribly as well.
Oh god. Anyways,
my name's Xander, by the way. Who are you? Who's your drunk friend?
Oh, that's
I'm Zidislav.
what he said.
So you see an alcoholic, cleric and Kalian, both.
Yeah, both.
Yes.
something
All
like
right,
that.
that makes a lot of sense. You know, I'd be more offended by the smell, but well, you can see my neighbors.
Jesus Christ.
And also, you unfortunately learned to live with it.
Wow, that's pretty terrible.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, you need nails, you need cauldron. What else are you looking for?
Let's see. I would say the bed is in relatively good condition, but I'm not sleeping in that.
You may need
Although-
a new mattress.
Although I don't suppose that's actually your expertise. I'll find someone else for that.
I do not. I very poor at sewing, and I do not know where to get that many feathers or hay to actually put together a mattress. That being said, if you're running low, you got nails. All you really need is a sheet of cloth, and you have a hammock. Trust me,
Very
I've been
good
in your
point.
shoes before.
I thought, oh, you could do it like the guys in the East, just lay on the nails. It's really nice. Got
That's
this
what I
wooden
thought.
That
blanket.
is
We
a
have
terrible
some
idea.
nails into it.
You should never
Okay.
do that. You should never do that. Unless you want some interesting new piercings for your lungs.
Unless you have some guests that you really don't like.
Kidney piercings. The new thing with the kids.
You gotta
You
be
just,
kidneying me, they say.
yeah, it's for the best guess. Just lie down on this bed of nails, and I'll get you the extra heavy blanket. Just one moment.
There you go, Mr. Kinley. I hope you're comfortable.
You
Yeah, there
still
you
have
go.
to pay me
Anyways.
5 silver.
Here's your 5 fucking silver.
Beats him to death with a sock with those 5 fucking silver in. 5 fucking silver in coppers.
But yeah, people aren't gonna come. If you're looking to sell potions, whatnot, you can sell that out of a stall. But if you're looking to start selling services, you're gonna want to get to know people, make friends. Like I said, start making friends in a guild. Frankly, if you want to be smart about things, you get a place with a workshop and just find a place you can set up a stall. Hawk your goods that way.
That could work.
It's
First
how
things
most
first,
people
though,
end up
guild.
selling their goods. I don't, but that's because I need to be next to my forge all the damn time.
Excellent point. Gonna have to look into that guild thing first, though.
I take it you're not much of a craftsman. It was your first
Well,
time working at crafts, isn't it?
my first time working. I'll let you know, I've been doing this for several years.
Sure. How many nails do you want?
Just give me 2 boxes.
2 silver, 6 copper.
She hands him over.
Thank you. Might be able to afford the new project soon. Anyways.
What new project might this be, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, just a little idea I had some time ago. In fact, I could show it to you if you want.
I'd like to see it.
It's my giant death ray,
Wow!
named after my late father, Giant Death Burgosh.
Also, why is the fucking priest walking around in a suit of fucking plate mail?
No,
Or
he's
a
not
suit
in
of
plate.
plate.
He's
Yeah,
not
he
in.
isn't.
He's not in plate mail. He's in
For
civvies.
once.
What is he in? Is he in anything?
Is he naked? He
I
better
hope
be.
so. I mean, if he was naked, that would kind of explain why. Actually, no. If he was naked, Kinley would have been more intimidated.
Just like
I mean,
normal
Bob.
old clerical robes.
Okay. So Xander goes into the indoor shop from the side and opens up the front door. Come on in.
And Tidal follows him, giving him a small smile and a nod as he holds the door open for her. Thank you.
Yep. And once you walk into the shop, it's obviously much different from what you expect of, say, a blacksmith. Instead, there is various different kinds of sketches hung up on the wall, different kinds of like designs for bizarre and weird machines. Some of them are doodles, some of them are like really in-depth blueprints that another engineer might attempt to replicate. You're not sure how successful they would be. Because some of this stuff looks absolutely just mind-boggling insane.
Tail
But
is
other
immediately
stuff,
intrigued.
kind of interesting. There's also various workbenches that have all kinds of strange tools. Unlike the outside, the inside of here all of these tools seem to have been handmade, very well taken care of, and obviously some of the best quality items that you've seen in quite a while for a variety of different crafts, really.
Well, colored Tail impressed.
On one end, there's like on one of the workbenches, there's a little shelf that has probably the largest collection of books since you've walked in here. There's like 6 books.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
So many
Jesus.
books.
What's with the library? Nerd.
I know, right? Crazy.
Absolutely.
And obviously, what is like some kind of fucking super fucking in-depth alchemy setup with all these crazy different beakers and shit that have occupied one wall. And in the center is this giant lump that's been covered by a giant beige linen tarp.
Ooh. Tail is immediately intrigued. That's quite some little back room you have here. What's under here?
Yep. That's where I do most of my work. Well, most of the interesting work, at least. I live upstairs normally.
It's my pride and joy. I worked a year on this extra large linen.
And he walks over and grabs tarp and whips it off all dramatic like.
Mm-hmm.
And in the center is this really bizarre machine that looks kind of like the combination of a chair with a harness on it connected to what kind of reminds Tadal and Zitislav of the internal workings of like a clock, and what appear to be like the frameworks that you'd see, like the bone frameworks of like bat wings. There's nothing in between them. There's no actual wing, just what appears to be like the fucking skeletal structure of it. Parts of it are obviously disassembled. Other parts have been put together. There's various kinds of tools lying around and different kinds of clamps and temporary fixes that have been placed in there.
Tail
And
stares.
some of it, and you the two of you will actually recognize this from one of the designs on the wall that have been and it seems to be one of the more well drawn out ones.
Taylor looks between the design on the wall and the prototype in front of her. Then she looks to Xander and she goes, "Are you working on a flying machine?"
I am working on a flying machine.
You're working on a flying machine.
I am working on a flying machine.
Clearly insane.
Are you sure that's the best idea?
I am certain it's not the worst idea.
Oh, hush now, Zed. It's progress.
I mean, suppose that's good enough for me, but how exactly is it supposed to even work?
Well, it's basically an ornithopter. The way it'd work, and Xander then launches into this long, drawn-out, kind of dry, kind of insane sounding fucking line of crazy technical bullshit.
I want you two to roll intelligence in academia to see if you can follow him at all.
Okay, guys,
actually,
please
it
don't
would
screw
be-
me over this time.
It would be not intelligence plus metaphysics, sacred geometry, motherfucker.
Let's go
Can
with
I just
academia.
Fine.
I mean, I have metaphysics celestiology.
It involves a little bit of that, yeah.
So I'll just
Finally!
roll that instead, if
Okay.
you don't mind.
That's
Sure.
3 successes for you because
I actually understand it. Thank fuck.
difficulty 6. You understand. You understand it enough that it's a flying machine. It might work. It might not. Mitch,
And that's for metaphysics celestiology.
you are fairly sure God is against this. All the time. Especially your God, because he's fucking drunk and you can't get drunk in the sky. That's weird.
I mean,
Can't get drunk in the
Caden
sky.
Kalian doesn't really give a shit about
Okay,
what
wait.
people do.
Mitch, you against it on the basis that it doesn't have a drink tray. Clearly, this is not what God wanted.
This is not as God intended. Need some more booze.
Where's the booze? This is
So
unholy.
it involves something about like a tension spring. You have no idea what the fuck a spring is. Some crazed fucking hand winch. It's supposed to be recharged at with a attachable water mill. He says something about being able to reach like 3 leagues. Although he's not sure about the air.
I want to say Tattle understands as much as you get in, it goes up, and you come down again eventually. Like all the technical mumbo jumbo you don't really get, but you get the basics. You know, yeah, it's supposed to fly, whatever.
Cool.
Fine. It's fine, I guess. Flying machine, whatever.
Fine.
Where's the money in
You
that?
can tell
really?
about 17 ways this thing may fucking explode, which is kind of hard because it involves no combustion whatsoever.
You can make it happen.
All you gotta do is believe.
How is it supposed to fly? Like, what is powering it? That would be my
You
question.
get up, you flap.
Forces 2, matter 2, and prime 2.
Yeah, that will explode.
In reality, as in Xander's paradigm, it is a clockwork system that stores potential energy that you would initially from a giant spring that you'd wind up
I
after
gotta ask.
a watermill.
I gotta ask. How sure is Xander this is not going to kill him?
Pretty not sure yet, which is why he hasn't tried to fly it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But he's also not sure how to test it yet.
You could probably bribe a hobo.
Yeah, there are loads of them.
That's terrible.
There is your neighbors across the street are the Guild of Gamblers. Just putting it out there.
Yes, and Xander's also not that much of an asshole. He's made gliders before, but an actual self-propelling flying machine's a bit different.
Also, your other neighbors are the Guild of Embalmers, so.
Yeah. Make of that what you will. So, one's just an aerodynamic kite and the other one's a fucking flying machine.
Yes.
And, the tension of the spring may actually explode and just drive through the front chest of the, or drive through the spine and out of the front chest of the pilot, which would be bad.
What are the chances of that?
Maybe 1 in 10.
Workable.
Workable.
Workable. Let's get a hobo to try it out.
And
Xenophov, for example.
As with many of Xander's contraptions, he is aware that the prototypes always have a chance of catastrophically failing.
Well done.
So Taylor will look at it and she will go, all in all, rather impressive. Trying to hold back her fangirl squeals of, oh my god, it's a flying machine.
I have no idea how to test it, which is the only reason why I haven't tried taking it out for a flight, because it may kill me. I'm not sure how well it'll land. But I can continue making safety features.
You've done all these calculations, though, haven't you?
Yes.
And you've double-checked your results?
You are correct.
You've done everything possible to ensure that it would be a safe flight, theoretically.
Yep.
And it still might kill you.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
I'm not sure I like that. Where'd you get it from? Some guy named Murphy?
Maybe. I don't quite remember his name.
You would know that Murphy graduated from the Alchemist Guild years ago. He's long gone.
He still has most of his fingers.
Yeah, he was one of the better alchemists.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive.
Summa cum laude.
Yeah. Um, as anyone should know, something can always go wrong, and this is why we create prototypes.
Very true. We do still need a way to test it, however.
Yep.
You made any thoughts yet?
Nope. Well, none that aren't horribly unethical.
That's kind of ethical.
No.
Well, if you need a guinea pig, I'm pretty sure I know a real estate agent who'll probably be thrilled.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taylor gives a small grin.
When
All I
you
can
learn to
think-
work with gunpowder, one of the first things you know is that anything can explode if you put it in the right conditions.
You know, all I can think of
And
right
many
now
things
is
will explode for no reason at all.
no.
Yes.
I can-
Unfortunately.
All I can think of right now is we will never find someone dumb enough to try this out and then jump cut to dress sitting in the jumper. It's a shame he isn't here. Oh well.
Now,
Absolutely
at some points,
hilarious.
I can't. Now, honestly, I could probably fly the thing myself, although that requires a little too much intervention in my own part. My goal is to be able to make this thing stable enough that anybody could fly it, which would require a bit more engineering of sorts.
And then it will
That's
require even
rather
more
invisible.
engineering to make him land again.
It will require more prime to make it into a device, and not just a fucking rote focus.
A device with a capital D.
Key.
Device.
D. Well, then,
You see, you know it's good because it's German. Device.
it's not what. No, it's German. It's German. It's spelled D-bar. D. Well, you saw the crazy man's flying machine. What now?
Yay!
There's also various other. If you take the time to look around, there's also various other contraptions. There's everything from like architecture to cannon designs. One of the more fully realized things that have been shuffled off to the side, neatly put away, was what appears to be like a 5-barreled matchlock pistol.
Oh shit, neat.
Taylor
That
kinda salivates a
and
little bit of
the
that.
design of the bullets is about like the length of your finger, and there's like all these weird like arcane alchemical formulas to make this fucking bullet.
Nice.
It's like sulfur and like shavings of dragon scale and quicksilver and iron, because
Yes.
steel's too tough for this.
Just yes.
With a lead core. Yeah, fucking crazy alchemical formulas.
Taylor looks at it and just immediately goes, "What is that?"
That is a personal project of mine. That is also not for sale. Just so you know.
I mean, a pity, but I do understand why.
Because it is incredibly dangerous and I don't trust it in the hands of anyone else.
Exactly. And also, who'd want to part with that baby once they finally got it between their hands? Look at it.
Yep. I'm currently trying to figure out how to make something more efficient than a wheel lock, though. Thinking something with flint.
That might work. I'm gonna roll a little bit of. That'll probably be intelligence and academics to see if Taylor can.
Do you have
help out.
firearms?
No, I do not.
Because that would actually be the proper skill for that kind of stuff. Academics is knowledge of history, philosophy, theoretical mathematics.
Okay.
Having one done academics means you're literate.
I have 3.
Yeah, you probably know a couple different languages. Look at the academic skill.
I mean, I also have I have a Colt, but I don't think that's gonna help in this situation. Unless I want the gun to start summoning shit.
That would be a little weird.
I
But
mean, that'd be
also
pretty
really
fucking
cool.
cool, though.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be really fucking cool. Yeah, it'd also be like calligraphy and general scholarship.
Yeah.
A lot of history, really. History, philosophy, theology. If I've read a lot of books about stuff.
I have indeed.
Yeah, the problem is that most attempts I've tried to done with a flintlock end up sparking the wrong, or with flint as an igniting mechanism, is that it just tends to kind of explode in a way that I don't want it to, which is bad.
That is a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really bad to have a grenade go off in your hand.
Perhaps there's something. Perhaps there's a way to circumvent that in some way.
I'll think about it. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Another way, I'd say it's definitely worth some thinking about, as it were.
I've been thinking about using lighter metals, but it's a bit out of my price range for now.
I would personally hate to see a project like this dropped on the floor. I wouldn't be adverse to the idea of at some point funding you if I'm able.
Why don't you worry more about funding yourself first?
Don't remind me.
I will do nothing but because it is important that you eat. This is why most people pick up a craft in the first place.
Debatable. I've been through worse.
Does that make it any better? I've been shot at with cannons. That doesn't mean I want to go through something similar.
Point taken.
Oh god, what are some other designs? Oh yeah, there's like alchemical formulas for different kinds of metals. Something else labeled Titan's plate because St. George doesn't exist. And it's like fucking it's this crazy armor design. It looks imposing as fuck. There's like plans for like a person would fit into this, like how you'd articulate the hands, because the way it's designed, like if you put a dude in here, the hands would only go up to like the wrists of the suit. It'd put on like a foot of height for this guy. Like this is the kind of suit armor that like great swords and clubs just kind of bounce off of.
Nice.
There's even like chemical formulas for really weird kinds of metal that Tato recognizes things that would resist magic almost, using weird and kind of esoteric materials. There's even like designs for something called thought form ships that are completely cracktastic out there that are probably one of the less developed ideas. But it was based off of like there's a little note that says find more books on the concept of astral realm.
Ooh.
Question mark. Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit. Oh, there's a plan. There's also a thing. There's also a set of plans for what appears to be a balloon filled with a weird gas that's supposed to make you fly in the air.
Very flight
Huh.
the base to this person.
That'll never work.
I'll never catch on. Probably gonna crash and burn.
And there is also like a little locked box where more designs are that obviously Xander keeps hidden away.
Obviously.
And that's where like the cannon designs are, and the medieval tank, and other crazy bullshit design formulas for gunpowder.
Sweet. Well, Taylor is interested.
AKA things that Xander doesn't want people to know about.
He's so considerate.
Oh yeah, there's also like little armor stand in the corner that's got like a suit of bastard mail, and or bastard's mail and a broadsword.
A bastard's mail. Who do you steal them from?
Anything
That's actually the
interesting,
name
is
of
it?
it's what most RPG players would identify as half plate. It's a combination of plate and chainmail. It's what it's what mercenaries with more money or really poor knights would wear.
Right.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well then.
It's plain, not very fancy looking, but obviously extremely well made. And that you're beginning to realize that describes a lot of Xander's shop. Not very fancy looking, but very well made. Matter 3, kids.
Hey, you find something you're good at and you stick at it. That's how you do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the current project I'm working on. It'll probably take me a while before I finish.
I mean, these things mostly do.
I also had an idea of. I've also got some less interesting ideas, but those I just keep upstairs.
What would those be?
Oh, a couple design changes for the printing press, better ways to cast certain small items, that kind of stuff. Better ways to make fucking nails. God. The reason why I do it is because it's so good at paying rent, because everybody wants a box of fucking nails.
Seems like a lot of people would thank you for a better way to make of making nails.
I'd thank me, jeez.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd let a lot of people build a lot more things.
I'm also poking around with a couple of lodestones to see how they work.
That's those
Shit.
always fun.
Also figuring out how. Well, I've been looking at a couple different ways to make different pulley systems for stone quarrying. I got a commission from the Masons Guild. Nothing that fancy, but anyways,
Well, like you said, whatever pays the bills, am I right?
pretty much. He throws the tarp back over the machine. The flying machine.
A flying machine!
If you do that every time when you talk about it. Just
The
grand,
flying machine.
just a grand flourish. Just yes, let us go into the woods to test out the flying machine.
Oh, and there's also like a design for what appears to be like what has to be like a clockwork songbird.
Ooh.
Immensely complicated. For one you can tell, it doesn't do anything else besides play a tune.
Tato
But stunningly complicated.
Tato looks at it with big eyes, and she's like, "So what does this play?"
I have no idea. Probably wouldn't be that good of a song. It's really just an overcomplicated. It's really just an overcomplicated songbox.
Well, if it's not that good of a song, then why make it so overcomplicated?
Because it needs to look like a bird.
Because reasons.
Point taken.
And I don't know, it turns its head and flaps and stuff.
It might
And
also explode.
stays a bit longer than than turning a crank. Is really the majority of the issue. It's for rich nobility that wants to spend a bunch of money on the toys.
Yeah, they are very fond of that, aren't they?
Some are.
It's like the
But
Renaissance.
also just for showing off.
It's the Renaissance equivalent of an Aibo.
Kinda, yeah. The main issue is making sure that it continues to work without actually having a lever to wind it up. You need to find some kind of fuel for it. Anyways, back out in the open air. Use some fresh air. Guides everybody back out of his workshop. Goes back to his counter.
Taylor's head is just a buzz with all the different inventions and all that. She's just completely enamored with all the things he's making.
The things, the wonderful things.
All the
Imagine-
stuff.
Yes,
The beautiful things.
imagine the carnage you could sow, firing fireballs from the heavens. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly where Taylor's mind is
A
going.
tune playing from a mechanical bird, fella. Da, 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 da. Only like, whistling.
There we go.
Well, Tatel, you still got a shop to fix up.
Yep. You got a
Tables.
lot of work ahead of you.
Oh yeah. I
So
think I
I'll
better
actually
get
give Xander gives Tatel a handful of names, mostly like glass workers. I'm sorry, not glass workers, glass blowers, people who would make flasks for her. A handful of carpenters, people who can get her the wooden planks that she needs. Seamstresses, actual seamstresses, not prostitutes.
Nice.
Oh,
That can like sew her fucking curtains and make her a goddamn mattress for cheap.
so all in all, Tatel is on her way to have her own shop, and eventually she will probably realize just how much she's overpaying for that place, or not.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
God, I hope it's when the fucking mafia turns up and they're just aghast at the goddamn price she's paying for that place.
Boss, I thought we were the criminals.
These guys have been run out of business.
Criminals.
Criminals.
We're like, Tommy, we may be criminals, but we're not lawyers. Just,
Hey, you guys wanna watch what I've been working on this entire time?
What?
sure.
Check it.
Crazy. And broadsword. I need to look up how much damage broadsword actually does.
I know, right? There it is.
It's a fish.
Yep.
Fisher. Anyway, do you guys want to
Yes.
do anything else?
I mean, Taylor's gonna go home and fix her shop up, and also she's gonna thank Xander a lot for all those names and stuff and shit. Gonna make a mental note of making him something to thank him for all the stuff he's already done for her.
Sorcerer's Crusade. Open broadsword. Strength +4 damage. Because fuck you, it's a sword to the face. Hand and a half sword deals strength +5 damage.
I don't
Okay.
really want to throw some weird crap at you when Zephy isn't here.
Yeah. Zephy deserves to be part of the weird crap.
Zephy deserves a lot of things.
Not least of which is to have the weird shit thrown at him.
Yeah.
I'd kung fu fight a giant fish.
So you.
I mean, we have art for a giant fish now.
Yeah,
well,
man.
We've been playing for like 2 hours. We did nothing, but
We did real estate.
Role playing. This is important stuff.
role playing. Yeah, you. If you guys want to do nothing else, I would suggest we just stop here and hopefully
Yeah, cut it
Zephy's.
short for today.
Maybe Zephy is back next time and Mitch has something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, if we want to suddenly 180 this game into just fucking setting up shop here, I totally would be fine for that. I just don't think having the wandering drunk cleric would be the best for that.
Well,
We
no,
all
you
need
just.
characters for a more Pathfinder style game.
You're just living in the city. You're still going places. It's just, yeah.
Now we're city slickers.
I mean,
Or
I
we
have
have
side.
like jobs during downtime and stuff.
Yeah, which is good because then you can earn money and stuff. And I have side quests lined
Yeah.
up. That's not the problem.
Yay.
Like, just again, I'd rather have Zephy here when I start this shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. I shoot Zephy.
So you want to like stop for today?
Yeah, why not?
How
I
much
have some
XP do we
homework to do.
receive?
Let's see. Role playing, just for being there. We didn't use any magic.
I showed off my magic.
You did not.
I actually did. That was a fucking
Yeah.
ornithopter. Eat my dick.
It's not
Yeah,
magic.
he did
It's just,
show it off. Come
it
on.
didn't. It didn't fly. It might be just some weird sculpture. Who knows? I think 3 XP.
Yay.
All right.
I was plenty heroic. Thank you very
You were
much.
not heroic at all.
Very heroic.
XP. I think that means I can get another dot of Arate. Yay.
Let's just imagine the wacky adventure that Draz was on.
Moving a cart.
He's gonna,
Yep.
no, he's gonna appear next time on a burning horse, just with a half destroyed cart behind him. Just, guys, you will never believe what I did, and he will be just like,
the horse.
yeah, we don't care.
The horse isn't even magic or anything. He just managed to set the horse on fire.
Oh yeah, just literally burning.
Uh,
It's just a burning
hey, I
horse and
have
half a cart.
homework and shit to do. See ya.
All right. Okay,
See ya,
I'm gonna stop here then.